It's going to get mighty dank up in here. Today I'm joined by Quinton, Dan and Jules. And to give you guys an idea of what we'll be talking about, there was an Amazon delivery that went pear. We're going to see how honest the stoner is. Your most hated stoner stereotype. There was a local thing that wasn't so nice this week. We'll bring that up.
Yeah.
And then since it's the season, good beginner strains that are really foolproof for guys who are starting to grow for the first time. And then we're also going to take a look at products you can get from your local builders and nursery and things like that, because not everyone has access to like hydro stores and things like that. So I think let's kick off things with, before we get too deep into this, we got sponsored some really lacquer gear, some Terps and stuff.
Yeah.
Dan, I think you're the man to tell us a little bit about this.
Oh, well, Terps.
Terps.
Terpenes. So the guys from Cannahealth, Dean and Steve.
Love you guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
They were kind enough to send us a whole lot of Terps. We got some of the Mood Terp range, a whole range. And then if you want, where's the
Calm,
what's it
Concentrate, Emerus. Oh shit, Emerus. I don't know what this one is.
Emerus. So we got some of the Revify Mood Terps, and we got some of the
Meditation.
Revify E-Liquid CBD. So 100% CBD, no THC at
Okay,
all.
I've been smoking this. I've been using this in my vape
Yeah.
for 2 months now. I haven't had any nicotine in 2 months either. It's fantastic. It takes the edge off, especially if you want to stop
So are these
smoking. It's
from?
lekker.
They're not necessarily extracted from weed plants. These are extracted from plants.
So the terpenes, these terpenes, yes, they are terpenes.
Because there's
broad
terpenes
terpenes, yes,
all over
yes,
it, the
exactly.
plant kingdom.
Yeah,
Exactly. So what this Revify Mood Terps basically does, from what we've seen and what says on the packaging, basically, this one here says meditation. And what it does, if you look on the box, it gives you a whole breakdown of its scent. So it gives you like a scent: sour, mangoes, citrus, hops,
I don't
lavender.
believe it.
And then on the
Yeah,
other side, it
it's
tells
lekker,
you what it can help you with. So psychological effects sedative, anti-inflammatory, mucus relaxant.
I had the concentrate
pain
and I've
relief.
had the calm.
And that's just from terpenes.
Yeah, I've had the concentrate and the
So
calm,
it's-
and it puts you down.
It's kind of like the
chill.
John Platter's wine guide now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like all of these nuances. So if I go out to the bus stop and get a matchbox full of twack,
Yes.
sticks and stones,
Yes.
It
then,
might make it better.
and I stick some of that on. Is that the whole idea?
Yeah.
Or-
It's gonna taste better.
Because I had some.
Taste
It's
Yeah,
not going
I
to get
took
you more
some-
stoned, but it's going to add to your whole entourage effect, maybe enhancing the twak.
So I put some on some green crack, which I think is not the wisest thing to do. Especially,
Make green crack stronger.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do that.
If I may interject, rather green cracked than a sweaty crack.
yeah. And it really changed the taste a lot. But I'll be honest with you, I shouldn't have used like the relief or whatever. It wasn't a calming effect at all. So wrong strain to use it with, but it's lekker. It changes the flavour.
So this does completely change the profile of the plant.
Completely.
So now you can have euphoria or you can have a sleep,
Yes.
in effect.
Pretty much. Relief, calm, concentrate, amorous.
If I
And you know the
We
one
haven't got to the
you know the one that
CBD.
makes you sneeze? You know the black pepper one?
Yes, yes.
Never remember my cream, my
Pinene. It's a pinene.
Is it pinene?
Yes.
All right.
Well, that's a pine, but the black pepper
the
one.
black pepper one, they wouldn't make one of those.
No.
But maybe that's got some really amazing analgesic effect to it.
The reason why is because the black pepper terpene, from what I've read, is a terpene that will actually bring you down from your high. It actually brings you
Well,
away.
that's got its uses as well, you know.
There we
So we're almost on top of a psychotic experience.
Sniff
Have
this.
that.
There we go. Smell this. There we go. Back to earth.
No more ICU.
Okay, no, hold on a
for you,
second.
my boy.
I have to say this. Have any of you ever CBD'd out? And I've got to go
I
on
haven't
this.
even.
It's the first time I've ever
Well,
seen.
no,
a
let's
CBD
try.
product.
Let's
You
put
are-
this all to the
No,
test.
hold on.
and see.
It is the anti-stone, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. It's the anti-stone. You cannot CBD out. I went through an entire bottle of this in one night. I shouldn't have. It was stupid.
In
It was,
theory
it was,
now,
it was
you
when
can dump
our
that.
son was born.
You should dump that.
Well, you
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Yes, with
Hang on a
the
minute, I haven't even tried this, but I want to have virgin one.
Okay.
I'm really interested to know because this has been in an oven for about a month
So
now.
these were the mood terps. These were the mood terps. These were the CBD ones that you
Yes, yeah.
you can literally put into your vape pen, fill it up, which
And
tastes
those blue ones?
amazing. Then these are the, basically like the Rolls Royce, I'd say.
Yeah.
These are true terpene profiles. They basically are of all of your favorite strains. What we have here is the Gorilla
Blue cheese and Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
Exactly. They gave us a
was-
choice. They gave us a choice. So
I
we
was
took
chatting
these
with
two.
Dean, and he said to me, if you can take the worst anything, you're not quite sure what it is. It could be, parkigras or whatever, and now you can have a full White Widow experience or a Gorilla Glue experience with whatever.
But you have to, do you have to have it with weed? I mean,
No.
that sounds like a weird.
You can already
No.
smell that. I mean, that's it.
Oh, no, but actually, you know what? Smell that and smell that together. It's like the real deal. Just
So guys, I think what we're going to do is for a full review and giveaway, check out the hike over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be giving loads of this away. We're going to kick the tires first.
really.
So we'll link it, but yeah, we're going to give most of it away. It's only fair.
Most of these mood
It's only
they're
fair.
They're only going.
But the research, we have to do a lot of research and product testing and stuff before we get to that.
Now's the time. Now's the time. So guys,
Like if you're going to be giving it away,
so I think everyone get locked and loaded for what you want to do because we're about to get into our
and
first
this
topic.
this is Portland, Oregon. This is the mother lode of. This is where.
That's the best of the best.
Dude,
This,
Hit it in
this
with
is
my
from
dad.
the 21st century, yeah.
These are the leaders in the game.
Okay, can you bring that in? I'm going to hit it in with the dab. Can you
They
do
say
it?
it's very strong.
I think you've
But
got
I mean, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. You know, it's
So
just-
there's
you do
no,
it.
there's no,
Look, I
there are
mean-
no cannabinoids in any form. in this.
Where
Not
is
at
your
all.
vagina? Put it in. Come, I want to
So-
see what's going on.
Let's do this.
What is
So I mean, look at the tiny this little drop is. You know, it's
It's
like
It looks like-
use with caution.
It looks like one of those super glue things.
Well, you know,
if you're watching,
Maybe
I'm
it
so
is.
sorry.
Okay,
Lemon-flavoured super
one
glue.
drop,
One drop.
one drop.
Oh, there we go, one
Yeah.
drop.
Okay.
So you now pick a paint of that miniature
that-
food.
You
it
know
looks
what?
like
Are you
that.
sure this isn't LSD? Because at this point,
In this point,
well, we'll see now. We'll see now.
You're going to get insane flavour.
Oh wow.
And that is off the
Gorilla-
cookies.
no, this is the Gorilla
This is blue cheese.
Oh wow.
The bottles or something.
Yo.
Really good.
Oh, I see.
Is there flavour there?
Oh.
Okay.
I can smell it.
Yo.
Let's try
Just
it.
like smell it.
Yeah, just
No,
give
thanks.
it a whiff.
No.
I'll definitely.
smell it.
My next
Smell it.
question.
Yeah, sure, go.
This is now what I'm doing is watching another generation of people turning onto this plant with all of the technology they have at their disposal now.
Eh?
This is unheard of when I was your age, etc.
You got to.
It was impossible to foresee this.
No.
Is this a gimmick?
No.
Gimmick
How
as
come?
in.
Okay.
Because we've been doing this for 6,000 years, and all of a sudden we need
Can
to-
I think we're getting to where technology just wants to take us the next step. We've got these generations that are like, we've got to take the next step on everything.
But this, the
Let's
capitalism
step
has
it
kicked in big time here
And
as
it's
well.
insane
Not
flavour,
only
oh
do
my
they
gosh.
do terpenes, they do 10 terpenes.
Yes.
It's not. It's which terpene do you want? Not do you want any terpenes?
Yeah.
I don't
Or
know.
which
Is
blend?
there anyone in South Africa getting there yet?
What
Or
doing
is this
this?
way ahead of the game?
No, this is
yeah?
Way-
way ahead of the game.
Is it?
These
Look,
guys
these
are.
these are the leader.
I
in the
said
Wow,
to
cool.
the-
Dan, thanks for bringing these in, mate.
I did
No, no,
a
say thanks, please, to
a round table with
Dean and Steve.
Yeah,
Dean and Steve.
From
Cannahealth.
Cannahealth. Check them out.
Nice
They're
one,
online.
gents. This is
This stuff is
awesome.
available. This is available from online. You guys can get it, and it's all
Yeah.
legal.
We'll link it in the video and all those
Yeah,
good
no, we'll
things.
do all of that when we get
You
to the
have
end
to
of the
do
show.
it in a sayonara head though. Have to. It's just.
Well, I think there's plenty of options, but guys, I think everyone's going to line up and have
Wow,
fun
that
with the
was
terps.
nice.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Let's get on to our first topic. So,
Can I just ask another question quickly? It
Yes.
says not for oral consumption, which means you don't put it on your tongue.
Yeah, don't ingest it.
But you are.
No, man, like
On your tongue.
like swallow.
And I wonder why that is.
Well, I guess that is quite a bit of a grey area
Let's find out.
term there.
Revivify. Revivify. It's cool, huh? Well, you got thanks, mate. I've never seen anything like it.
yeah, and so far
No,
the
You only see this stuff on Instagram and Facebook and
How lacquer was
Yeah.
that hit though, eh?
flavors. Like I've
Flavours,
never ever.
yeah.
Because I don't know which one the.
It's
the
kind of
flavor
like
is, but I'll just-
it's the equivalent of sort of food
micro
manipulating food.
like
yeah.
gastronomy and all
Yes,
that,
my-
molecular gastronomy.
molecular
So
gas.
if you just drop some in the water,
One drop in just water. So now here, there's
Oh,
no
yes.
weed, nothing, just water, just flavor, just. And that essentially, this
Wow.
will enhance your mood anyway, without even having cannabis in it. Because of the terpenes, it's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your overall constitution, I guess, because it's like same as aromatherapy, but in a
No, this is like this is aromatherapy on steroids.
well, there we go.
This is
Because
the
you are
next thing.
literally
On green crack.
Yes.
you're putting all of those aromatherapy.
You've got to try that. It's great.
Terpenes
It's like a-
into your body at once.
Yeah, it is as well.
Amazing,
Can
man.
taste
Absolutely
it.
amazing.
What is the guarantee that this is all coming from plants? Because I know extracting stuff from plants, you get very little out of a plant. So is this synthetic or is this a plant? Or are they not telling
I think
us?
it's essential oil plant extracts. So from
Well,
other plants, not
if
from
it
weed.
is, it's going to be a hell of an expensive
GMO
synthetic.
free. Look, this stuff isn't. I've been
Is
buying
it,
it.
is it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not for your run of the mill
Red rose.
Yeah.
So-
if you're driving a less expensive car, it's
You know what?
because of you know, if you're not earning a lot of money, this is going to be expensive, Jules. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I know that these small bottles are a couple of $100 a shot.
$100.
But
Oh,
you
A
get
couple
a
of
drop,
$100
eh?
bucks.
no, that's a gram of cheese, bro. What's a couple $100?
That's a
Yeah.
and use a one drop on that.
What are you going to get for 200?
I don't know. It's
What
about
are you gonna
value
get
to
for
me.
$200 at the Spur?
No. This is more than 200. This is 300-400. I'm going for.
So who is this? Are they the sole distributors?
Yes.
Yeah, from what
Nice
I
for them. And are they Joburg based?
Joburg and Cape
Cape
Town.
Town, yeah.
Steve runs up here in Joburg. Dean down in Cape Town.
And this has got nothing to do with weed. This is just a product. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
it's
It's
not.
terpenes.
This is
It's
pure
not written
terpenes.
into any law. It's not breaking any law.
No,
it's
Although
just-
that it says Canna on it is kind of
No. Okay.
What
so,
about
no.
the fact that
You're looking
it
at
comes
different
from
stuff
a
there.
plant?
Okay. Yeah.
Is there any sort of weird duty? Is there any weird permissions you have to have
Yes.
because it's
This
a
is
plant that is literally being
so
ingested?
these essentially are solvents. So these had to get some kind of high clearance because you can't just bring a solvent into the country. So
Here's the story. You see.
there is a story with these. So Dean and Steve went through a lot of effort to get them in. Actually, from what I was told, it
Yeah.
was quite an effort to bring these in. But they are.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if it's an effort to bring him in, let's do it.
Guys, you got to do it. It's awesome.
Because it's just a plant and it's just an extract, but you need loads of it.
Yeah.
Loads of it.
Loads of it.
It's crazy. But
To build a profile, you can take anything though. Lavender, you can take trees, pine
So-
needles. You can
Yes,
take
yes.
absolutely anything and make your own
You could take wheat.
so you go to a vape
can
bar,
take-
you know.
Yeah.
freshly cut grass.
You go to a vape bar in Fourways,
Yes.
and you sit down there and you do a few big cloudy drips and stuff, hanging out, waiting for someone to make you a vial of your latest e-juice.
Oh.
Does this go in there?
Yes.
Is that the same thing?
Well, what,
No.
what,
This
these?
is like
Any of
next
the-
level.
these flavourings, would they go in an e-juice canister that you put in one of those in the...
I imagine you could, but I think you would
I
want to
wouldn't.
use it for weed.
Yeah, this is more weed.
But you probably could.
Okay.
I don't see why
e-juice-
not.
So
the
what
guys-
do
the guys-
they use in those things then? Is it
the
all
guys
just like
that-
synthetic?
So the guys that make those e-juices are like PG, VG mixed with flavors that are synthetically made,
They're synthetic.
like bubblegum flavor. You're not going to get a
Like the,
terpene
stuff you
that's
get, like the
bubblegum.
stuff you get in toilet aerosols.
There we go. It's synthetic. This is all natural.
Peach
So,
flavour.
so what I did do at home was I made my own vape juice, obviously with the PGVG,
You can have
and
this, yes.
and
This
I
you can
did
have,
use
yes.
some of these mood terps.
And this you
It
can
was
have
it was
too.
scary putting, you know, because you literally that
Yeah,
bottle's
once it's
small,
in.
and you know how much it costs. So you're like, it's one, just one, and then it's like two. It's like shit. But you mix it in, and I tell you something, it was awesome because that vape juice. I mean, it was. I probably did about 100 mils or 150 that I made. Yeah, well, 150 mils, and there was about 4 or 5 drops in there, and it was fantastic. I mean, it was flavored, just that. It was really, really good.
Okay, so this is, and they're blends. There's two in here. There's two,
Yeah.
Well, some of them.
They-
Yeah.
these- so these-
Mycene and linalool. So I reckon. I
Okay,
suppose
so this is Gorilla Glue 4, for instance.
Oh,
They
that's-
took the terpene profile of Gorilla Glue 4 and they matched it with. If you look on the front of these two bottles, right, they've got this like barcode on the front.
Yeah, okay.
That barcode is it's
It's like its own DNA, yeah.
So
Yes.
it's got more of that than it has of that.
What a great idea.
So what they did is they matched the flavor of those strains to get, and they made it. With these, it's if you want to be imagination,
right.
then they've taken the terpenes that activate those parts in the brain, and they've mixed those together rather. So this is more of a blend of everything just to get a certain feeling out of it. Where these are the
Yeah.
smell.
Well, hell, thanks to those guys Stephen Coe.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you for
yes,
bringing him
God.
onto the show. I've learned loads in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is a lot of.
That's really cool.
This is
Interesting
this
that's
is the
happening.
coolest stuff. I've
So-
been using it for about 2 months now.
If the High
Fantastic.
Co need any guinea pigs, dummy runs, pick me.
Well,
pick
now's
me.
the time. Now's the time. Woo. Everyone put on their Stig helmets and
There we go.
Yes, there we go. I'm gonna.
Have you got any?
Have you got a
Have you
CBD
got
bag
gibbering
there?
idiot?
Uh,
away?
CBD.
we can use this one because it's plain PG.
Let's say maybe
Wow.
empty
Yeah,
and
sure.
throw a shitload of this into.
Oh, so guys, load it up, have
Which one do
fun.
you want to try? Choose.
I just need to.
Out of those two, there's Candy Jack, Pineapple Express, and Blue
Yeah,
Dream.
no,
I need to
let's
pour this into
do-
something.
Let's do a candy
Did you
jar.
get a vape?
Yeah.
No, we're going to hit some of the CBD.
Put this
here.
pure into it. It's
Yeah.
lovely.
Into
Okay.
what? That?
Yeah.
Into the vape, yeah.
You want to empty that out into
Yeah,
something?
I'll excuse myself.
No, just
No,
empty
I'm
it
sure
out
we have
into this
something.
bottle.
Guys.
Oh,
We're not
yeah.
going to use that anymore.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
no,
one
true.
we can-
There you have it.
There we go.
Runny
Yummy,
though.
yummy,
Okay.
yummy.
Okay, so guys,
We'll
while
do
you're still
shooting
loading
of this
up.
later. Okay?
Oh no.
nice, yeah.
Oaks would
Anything,
line
any other
up.
bodily fluids, we'll do shooting.
That's the part of the show you don't see.
So in Florida, in the US, something interesting happened.
Yeah.
This elderly couple got delivered 20 kgs of chronic bud accidentally by Amazon. So
Was it
obviously
20 kgs? Is
it
that what
was 60 pounds, so like
Yes.
20 kgs.
25 kgs.
So the story goes, they were expecting something from Amazon, and they get this box, and they're like, it's kind of heavy. Maybe it's extra packaging of that. And then they get home, or they get it in the car, and they're like, no, this is a familiar smell. They get home, they open the thing, and now this thing's packed full of weed. So they're all saying, hey, Amazon, we've got all this weed. And then it becomes an issue with the cops and so on. But like, if you were in that position and 20 kgs of chronic rocked up at your door, would you say
Yes, I can
anything?
smell that.
Would you?
That is amazing.
You'd have to sign for
Yeah,
it,
you-
but you could say what weed.
No.
What about the
I can
guy-
imagine signing that and going, oh my god, is this like an FBI sting or something? It's like,
And you
You
would only
wouldn't
know till
You wouldn't know
afterwards.
till afterwards. But what about the guy who has to make the phone call at Amazon to the owner of the box that it should have
That's
been?
delicious.
To the sender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to whoever ordered, somebody ordered
Sweet,
20
spicy,
kilos
and
of weed.
herbal,
Yeah.
and perfect. just like
Because
that.
if you think about it, it's like 400. It's $400 a pound. There's like two. It's like that was money.
Yeah,
that
it was
was
money.
money.
So now somebody's got to ring up to say, oh,
So
you
what I'm
see,
gonna
you
put
see
on
the
this.
Twitter feed.
yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Well,
And by the way, the cops are on their way to your address. Sort of situation. I imagine you wouldn't send it from your address or that, but would you give it back, or would you keep quiet for like a week and no one says anything, and then you start smoking?
I would have to sample it just to make sure
That it's weed.
that it is weed, because it is sure that's a dangerous drug there, right? You've got to make sure that it doesn't get out, and if it is, well, then you hide it away and just shut up.
Maybe,
invite 300 or 400 of your closest friends for a little bit of
For a bribe.
for a soiree.
What about if there was 3 times as much as they actually took a picture of, and they did stash another 40 kilos on
Yeah.
it, and they only gave up 20, so their karma's not quite, karma's going to be cool, it'll be okay. They somebody made a grave error of judgment, and now the elderly couple have got 20 kilos of skunk, and Amazon got the rest, and the cops are now on full alert around Amazon.
That's
Amazon
impressive.
has been
That
compromised.
was amazing.
But also, do you worry then
Lucky.
that if you say nothing,
Smell that.
the
Smell
person
the
comes
terpenes
after
on that.
you?
Just that one as well.
You will have that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So, for
Every time you
20
light that
kilos.
joint,
Oh, no,
you'll have that
completely. That's the
paranoia.
karma bit. That's the
Yeah.
karma bit.
Oh.
Well. It can
Well,
only happen in America.
Let's put it to a vote. Let's go around the table. Quinton,
Yes.
would you give it back? Would you say anything?
I would not say a word. No, I wouldn't give it back. I would shut up. But I would try and get hold of the sender to go, listen. But you may have just sent us to the wrong address. I'll send it back, but there might be a small percentage.
An honesty commission.
Honesty commission.
Okay.
Yeah. Find the sender and be like, listen. Yeah.
Dan?
Oh,
would you do?
it's just like a.
Well,
If a box of tomatoes landed on my doorstep, would I share it? Would I give it back? I'd be like, hell no, let me share this with my community. And I'd give it out to everybody and be, this is supposed to be...
This is not
this is a
tomatoes,
gift.
Ruth.
What do you mean it's not? It's just...
It could be the Mexican cartel, and they're like, I want to talk to you.
he knew too much.
Yes, everybody.
Where's our shit, man?
Was it delivered to a legal state?
It's now an issue. The cops are involved. It's
So
an
it
issue.
wasn't illegal. So this is completely up that it went to these people,
Yeah.
not in a legal
Right
state.
in front of me.
My
Well, it could be
my
legal, it's
reaction
just,
as
I
to
don't
what
know.
I would do if I was
There's an
doing
issue.
it today, I would try and go for some honesty tax, and the last thing I would do is tell anything to Amazon or anything to the cops just yet. Let's just see what's going down here. This could be
that's
really
what I said.
I think they did, and they couldn't sleep for a few nights.
Well, they were in.
No, they probably
See, the
said
thing is, they haven't had a lifetime of smoking weed.
Did you think they slept on it, eh? Or do you think? Wait, do you think the old lady, she stuck her finger in and she was like, "This is Granddaddy Perps," and you? I don't know.
Honey, what is Gorilla Glue for?
Yeah, dude.
I would. I would just.
Are you gonna like puff fast, or are you gonna
play
just like
quite
sit
cool
there the
for a
whole
while.
night?
I think it's generally play it cool, but it's an interesting dilemma.
On the Terp drop.
Very interesting dilemma. It'd be interesting to see how it is round Amazon at that point, because it's all, nobody can undo the visuals of that 20 kilos of weed went off via the biggest shipper on the planet.
Yeah.
How did that? Where were they meant to be going, and who was it that did it?
But who sent it? This is the thing. I mean, look, I can understand getting somebody to deliver it, but I don't quite see how it came in an Amazon box, because if you're going to send it, you're going to use a courier or something like that. But do Amazon have their own courier system? Is
he selling it as another false product? Or
yeah, exactly. So was it a bid, or whatever the case may be, or a purchase? But Amazon owns all that. Well, no, they don't. They're just a store aggregator.
Either way, it was a fuck up, dude.
Yo.
Either way, it was
wow, that's big, eh?
Yo.
So, are you done, eh? Are you free?
What did you roll that on?
On?
Did you roll?
Yo, what's in this joint?
What's in the
I
joint?
put some of this.
No. I saw you do that, but what is the?
Oh, the cannabis inside. That's some Skywalker.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's not okay. Cool.
Yeah. Some Skywalker.
Wow, it's. I'm absolutely convinced there's a future in it. Absolutely convinced that people. People with disposable income are going to buy anything about weed in the end.
And you're going to buy your bud pre-turked anyway. Everything's going to be how you want it.
Have you checked that superstore in Seattle? That guy with the that's
Harbourside.
Yes.
Harbourside. Did you see his speech in Cambridge University?
Recently.
Debate this year. The debate. This house legalizes marijuana, and he gave the speech in a 400-year-old hall at one of the greatest learning institutions in the world.
Yeah.
Jesus, he nailed it with passion, matey. It's absolutely watchable. Steve D'Angelo at Cambridge University. Find that one on YouTube.
Yeah, no, Steve D'Angelo's the man, though. But it's going next generation.
He knows a lot.
But let's get to something that was a contentious issue sort of this week. Even within the community, issues come up regarding sort of stone stereotypes. And I don't want to say who and blah, 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 any of that. But basically what happened is
I nearly blew it
a dude who's within the community and is doing his thing had some hard words about the Rasta community in Neisner. How much truth is there, I don't know. But there was also a response from the community that the guy had gone in with very blinkered view of things, because all he saw when he went in there were guys getting stoned on the pavement, accomplishing nothing in life.
Look behind the scenes.
And I think there's always more to it, but it does bring me to the point that even the way things are, there's stereotypes about stoners. So maybe we can just go around the table and discuss, like, what are your worst, the ones you fucking hate, the ones that really get under your skin, in terms of like being stereotyped as a stoner, because weed defines who we are.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Oh, I've got a couple.
Yeah, well then start with one. Pick one, dude. One juicy fucking one.
The best one. Stoners are stupid. No, and that's where I'm like, really? And where did you get your degree from? You know, and if you're gonna say make those broad statements, you've got to realize that you probably aren't clever enough to actually know what stoned is then, because we're not stupid. We make things work. We're out there. There's a whole lot more of us than what people think, and we're professional. We're running organizations. We are
go-getters.
We're go-getters.
Making podcasts.
We may be the attorney that is getting you off of your charge for possession. I think you've just got to start realizing that just because you get stoned, it doesn't mean you're stupid.
One of the things on the list of side effects that Reg Willis in the trial of the plant was saying to the court as to, he's trying to tell everybody these are the reasons why people should be jailed for this stuff, and one was disrupting organisational skills.
If I can,
we just put together a trial of the plant, a convention, the podcast, etc., etc. It doesn't do anything of the sort. Some of this here is designed to make you doff and put you to sleep, because that's what some people need. They need to actually shut down systems. So some of this is to flatten you out.
I think for Reg Willis that would be relief.
Relief.
Is it a suppository?
Oh, dude. A scratchy one.
Ooh. Yeah, pineapple one.
It brings, like, you hit up, and I didn't even think about yourself, just made the connection there. If you think about it, like, disruptive isn't a bad word anymore. In terms of business, disruptive is a good word. Facebook was a disruptive thing. Twitter was a disruptive thing. These are all disruptive things that innovate.
Yeah.
So maybe disruptive thinking isn't a bad thing. They say like some of the best thinkers in the world are actually lazy. And that's what motivates them to find that alternative, quicker way.
Because they find more use in thinking than doing stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
They literally will sit down and just rather...
So I'm proudly fucking disruptive.
Yeah, but that's totally different from amotivational then.
Yeah, well, we went there last week.
Yes, as we... Buzz and I got hold of a strain of cheese last week from outside sources. So we tried some bud, and I don't really do bud much in the week or in the day.
Yeah.
And I start doing some work, and it's just like I don't get anything done. I walk around doing what I normally do, and it just wasn't getting finished, and it just dragged my ass. Then I think maybe it's me just being lazy.
We were having this chat today.
We didn't know whether it was us or the weed, because sometimes you don't make the connection.
Yeah.
And it was completely that strain of weed. Now, if you've got severe back pain and you can't sleep, I suggest 2 bongs of that before bed. And you'll wake up in the same
with a
spot.
relief terp or something.
There we go. That's some terps.
So we just call it back pain terp.
Yeah.
Flavor.
Just for that, for that little bit of a...
When we do presentations around the place, we do some to old people, elders, and we show them a Steve D'Angelo clip from Harbourside, and the fact that more and more seniors are turning on to this because they use it to sleep. I'm sure that would be another great reason to
that's a really good market. I mean, because look, ideal. Obviously, there's we've all come across a few of the older people that have gone medicinal because of cancer or whatever the case may be, and they start appreciating it after a while. Understand it's not addiction, because they're going, we're really appreciating this. We're not drinking wine anymore, so that's a good thing. I'm not taking all that. And then they start asking questions like, you'll get a phone call and they'll go, if I took 2, what would happen? And you say why, and then they like giggle and they say, well, I took 2 and I'll tell you what happened.
It's a rhetorical question.
They just nail it in there. Yeah. And I'm thinking, yeah, man, that's great. And it's always just so amazing with older people. I think they appreciate cannabis more for its properties.
Well, my eldest story of the week is from a couple of weeks ago when Myrtle and I were on vacation. We get a phone call from a friend whose friend has got a couple of issues because it's the first time they've taken the oil, and he actually found himself prostrate in his hallway trying to get to the kitchen to tell his wife that it's getting really, really strange. It's getting too strange for words, and I'm getting scared.
How much did he take?
I actually we have to speak to this guy. He was he was rattled by it.
No,
he said, it's concentrate. Take a little bit. And this woman said, our friend said, I don't know how he could have done it. The protocols are there. Try a little bit. It says so many times. If you don't feel anything, try another bit. So we get to the bottom of the story that he was actually mixing a syringe into a container with some coconut oil to make it drippable. Yeah. And he inadvertently just licked the thing, the end of the spatula that he was stirring it
like
with,
bacon.
inadvertently doing the bacon, making cookie dough. So that's what he did, and the rest is pear-shaped.
Oh no,
And
it's
it
shame.
booked him deluxe. That's why he wanted to speak to us. And he put the stuff in the fridge and he said, I can't do it again. I said, you have to. Man.
Shallow end.
It's just do what it says on the instructions and don't lick the spoon.
Yeah.
But boys never read
Classic,
instructions, man. We never
No.
Dan, any stereotypes you hate about this shit, dude?
It's just more of the unproductive. You can't do anything, you're unproductive, they become unproductive. Yes, I think people do, but it's more of it's your choice, eh?
Yeah,
Well, it
personality.
depends what type of unproductive you're talking about, because sometimes it just frees you to be productive in something that you feel you should be instead of what people tell you to be.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you can, I think you can smoke if you had to say, be stoned. You wouldn't be as motivated to do something, but that's because you, as a person, maybe don't have that motivation before that.
Or you didn't smoke the joint for the right reason. You just smoked it because to hell, what am I going to do now? I'll smoke a joint. And when it gets to that stage,
Then
it's
you
been done for no reason whatsoever. You're not going to get a thing done. You weren't doing it before you did that, and you're not going to do it after.
There we
But
go.
if you get up in the morning and have something to eat and go, right, I'm going to paint that wall and
Get
smoke
this
a
done, and
blunt
this
while
done,
you're
this done,
thinking
and
it,
this done.
fuck, you paint that wall.
You do it. There we go.
That's the whole bit. It's all about teaching yourself about the plant. That's why it's called a teacher plant.
There we go.
It's not play, and it's not for fun. It's not recreation. It's all for a purpose.
Yeah.
Whether
You
you
use
want
it
to put a smile on
use
your
it
face,
responsibly.
whether you want to get laid, whether you want to fall asleep on the couch watching 6 episodes of a movie, and this is what these are all going to enhance all of those parts of
There we
your
go.
life.
That's it.
Use it
So-
responsibly. If you're going to do it, and then make sure you get what you've got to get done.
You know as well as I do
Don't-
that all of this negativity is all around 18 to 24-year-olds.
That's it.
Late teens, tertiary education where people are flipping their disco because there's no parents around, testing their boundaries, and all this bad shit, all these perceived psycho episodes and all of this wrongdoing is all
there's
these
research on this.
It's teenagers.
Yes,
ruined-
but hold on.
Remember what it
They're
was
not-
like.
Yeah, but here's the whole thing. There's like some really awesome research on this as well. You know what I do? I spend late nights looking at for this weird research. But they found that those 18 to 24-year-olds that generally hit it hard, man.
Yeah.
They
Uppy cuppy
they
all
are,
of it.
yeah, they smoke
good.
that
Oh, yeah.
shit
Oh, yeah.
for like 3 years straight while they're in varsity, or 4 years, or whatever the case would be. As soon as they actually realize, oh shit, I have to be an adult now and step into the job role, they either what research is saying, either what happens is that they stop completely and they're going, they almost become sheeple-fied or whatever you want to call it, and they just click into that, or they just take this. I'm gonna keep this in my life, but I've got to give it I'm gonna put it on the back burner, and maybe once in a while have a joint, just to calm down. And there's nothing to show that these guys are actually abusing it into what they would say abusing it at that level, or using it at that level into life.
Use is abuse, though, don't you know, mate?
Yeah.
Don't you know? There's no happy medium, and we're not doing this for fun. We're doing this because we have to have a fix. Remember?
And we can't wait till we get to the point where we
Yes,
get injected, because that'll be the best marijuana.
A couple of suppositories.
If Dad
and
wasn't so damn thick.
The marijuanas.
200 mics a capsule.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think that always separated it for me, is the moment you're going to stick the needle in your arm, it's something different. But
Especially when it comes to marijuanas.
yeah, but it's also like there
You
are
have to
those
use glycol. So what's that going to do to you? Glycol's probably
in a
gonna kill
drip,
you,
dude, so that it's for hours, days.
Yeah, but it stays in your body for so long. That's why it's so poisonous.
I wish it stayed in longer.
Well, it stays in long because it's medicine. It's clever.
Yeah.
Stays in your body long because it's poison. That's what the detractors say.
Yes,
That's one of Doctors for Life's actual verbatims. It's poison. It stays there for long.
So does sugar. So does stupidity. I don't
That
know.
stays for long.
Stays.
Well,
Long time.
they're still out there on the periphery. Sorry to bring up the. Sorry, I slipped that one in.
We've got to be careful. We've got to be careful about what we say.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep,
They're on the periphery all the time.
They're going to
complete
question me,
irritants.
and this is going to be brought up.
Yeah, no, I think let's toe the line there.
Yes.
We all know what the situation is. Jules, I think you got a nice toy there.
I did.
Oh,
I hope.
Your turn.
we must collectively go.
Oh.
And then the floor side.
You may remember a couple of episodes ago we opened a box from Prohibition in Canada, Montreal. This is a franchise of head shops all over the place. And my dear friend went to a conference in Montreal, and I said, well, go to the Prohibition head shop and score me a really cool, funky, they call beakers. I haven't got a beaker in the collection of all of this stuff, so this is the unwrapping of the aforementioned beaker. And I know which one it is, but I've never seen it in the flesh before. This is an online purchase. Yeah. So I'm presuming, yeah, there's
it's even being opened on.
There's a baffle.
Ooh. So that's for your domeless nail.
So here's a, well, I don't know what the nail's going to be. Let me see. Oh, it's a baby. It's a 10mm piece of quartz.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So that's that. That won't take long to crack and trash.
We'll do that in no time.
Yeah.
Challenge
Give us a few minutes.
You ready for this? This is pretty funkadelic, dude.
Yo! Nice!
Yeah,
Oh,
look at
that's
that.
great.
It's another piece of Cheech glass from Canada. And beakers are very popular at the moment.
Yes.
They're really cool as a thing. And I had a couple online that I had earmarked, but they weren't in stock, so my friend brought this one back, and I'm really delighted with it. It's cool, It feels so lekker, and you just suck on it like it's iced coffee or something.
No way. Oh,
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's really nice
That's
quality.
the real
It's like,
deal.
Yeah, this is a real one. We've had the knockoffs around here, but this is the real deal.
This is thick glass.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
exactly.
great.
There we go.
Let's let the judge have a look.
Nice.
The judge.
The judge, dude.
The judge. No.
No, it's thick, yeah. Because usually they're like light bulb thin, eh?
I've never actually held one before.
Very Rocky Horror, eh? And you see how it's the effort with the cola colouring to make it look like there's cola.
That's good. That's really
And
cool.
is that pretty much goes down to the bottom of the whole rig, yeah? I didn't
Yeah, there's probably a diffuser at the bottom, a simple diffuser. But yeah, that's it, dude. So the question is, are you going to break this motherfucker
I'm gonna
in?
brag it right now.
Okay.
Let's do
Yeah.
this.
Well, there's an email right here, so we can literally transfer.
Oh, you're going to have to be...
No, let me do the whole deal. Let me just put.
Oh,
I
with that.
haven't used a quartz nail for long.
That's all right.
I haven't had a quartz nail.
Have we got a torch?
Yeah, torch is there.
Torch is there.
Away. Get it, the torch.
Oh, the stick's got the torch.
This is like a
Let me see if I can pour this in
it's
without.
like a lightsaber. It's not. It really isn't. At
Yes,
all.
it's...
Just do it. You can do it.
But you can talk while I am doing it.
Okay, all right. So we'll talk because Jules, why are you shaking so
So,
much? Is
what
it
a nice
the
present
marijuana's-
from Canada. You know, we've had one from Canada.
You know why it is?
We've
It's
had
such a
some-
crazy position.
Yeah, it's really the North Americans representing at the moment.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely. Even this. Shout out to.
Oh, yes, dude. Yeah, quickly,
Wow,
eh?
yeah.
What's that? Oh no, grinder combo
Yeah, so
thing.
these are one of
Yeah.
those grinders from the African Smoke Head Shop. It's a herb saver. So you've got your magnetic top, a grinder, and then it opens up. You can you can store, grind, and it's inside there once you've ground. And in the bottom, it's got a keef catcher, which is
nice.
pretty damn kiff. Kiff on the
Yeah. Kip squared.
But no, it's all
but-
becoming
And you
a
can
bit-
pop out the screen and clean it, which I find very, 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 very.
That's cool
handy.
because you know what I've got
Nice
one of
and
those
handy.
stackable ones, not from them, but it's nice to have a grinder that has all those compartments.
Yeah. Room for everything.
Yeah, you know, like when you're young and you've got these the
2-piece.
these two pieces and you know you don't want your mom to find out and shit, so you like try and make it not look like this and stuff. But
Yeah, I was just.
it's a yo-yo, mom. Why are you digging in my stuff? But
See
you know,
how progressive
this is
this
nice.
actually is. It's clear.
yeah.
Nobody gives, even if it did have ganja in it, nobody's hiding it.
Yeah.
It should be clear, right?
It should be
It's
something
like a tin, a coffee tin or something, or
This
like
the
a
oxymoronic
8-ball.
stash tin. So just an observation. The times are changing.
Times are changing.
Yeah.
So you got.
I think we may as stoners or I don't even like that term stoners, but as cannabis
around.
enthusiasts, you know, we're evolving as well into life, and this is
Rock and roll.
Got your attention there.
this is amazing.
Rock and roll.
Guard your eyes.
Please do not try this at home.
Yes.
Jesus, try this at home. This is one of the finest ways of.
Honey, I'm really sorry. I'm going to be home just now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't touch the nail to see if it's hot yet, okay?
It's always rule number one. Let's see. Take off.
3, 2, 1. We have
Yo,
look at that go.
Ah. Woo.
Christening of the rig.
The rig.
And it sounds like when you get to the bottom of your drink or milkshake and it bubbles like that.
Oh.
Don't slurp your milkshake.
Sorry, Mum.
The nail tastes like shit at the moment.
New
It
nail.
needs
Burning
Yeah,
burning,
burning,
We'll try it
but
again.
what a great pull on it.
I think it's going to end up with a nice titanium piece on
Yeah.
it. Get a little highly educated. Just
Maybe a bit of a drop down. You know what it is with
You want
my
a drop?
vocals?
Yeah.
You see
Yes,
these things?
yeah.
I've got to drop down on most of them because I can get
away.
it just that bit further away. There's like 1 3/4 nails here.
Yeah.
Which one?
I know the feeling.
There it is, boys and girls. My
There it is.
latest
Yeah.
acquisition from Cheech Glass
Very nice.
in Montreal. And go to Prohibition,
10 out of 10. Really, really
prohibition.com and have a look at their online stuff because it's the same kind of price there as it is here. But if I'd shipped this from Montreal, it would have doubled the price, FedEx,
Yeah.
and it's out of order. I'd love to buy glass every week. So I'm more addicted to glass than I am to concentrate.
They've got some amazing stuff going on there, really.
Yeah.
Really.
By the way, this one is a lekker. You're one of
Vroom,
these.
vroom.
This is a great sidecar. I love sidecars.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice. So, prohibition.com.
Nice one, guys.
Cool.
It is the season for growing. We've been speaking about seeds and all those good things. But strains for beginners, because yes, it's so easy. You can go buy every fucking strain your heart desires, try and grow them all out, cause cut difficulty in your life.
Yeah.
My advice is always keep it simple. Find a couple of strains, find the one that works for you, and learn, and then take it from there. What outdoor guys, indoor guys who are interested in auto flowering, what strains do you feel like are good beginner strains, or strains that are at least not going to really kick you in the balls to start?
I think for me, I think it might be like if you start looking at like the fem auto flowers and stuff like that, and pretty much there you've got to win no matter what you do. You can be really a novice and be growing it in a pot and still win with it. It's the plants are just meant to grow. They need sun and water. That's it. Bit of sand and sun and water, and they do the rest. And it doesn't really matter what the strain is from them. That type of thing, it's going to be great, especially with the South African sun.
Yeah, a little love goes a long
Yeah,
way.
are you just talking generally?
Generally.
Not about
Easy
indoor,
strain.
just growing, yeah?
Just great,
No,
good
that's it,
strains,
yeah.
easy strains
I
to
think-
start with.
I think the
Beginners
do
best
those
way to
autoflowers,
do it would
yeah.
be something like Quinton is saying. So go with an autoflower if you want to be the most simplest of grow. The simplest, just put it there and leave it, and
Even
let it
as
grow.
an outdoor.
Yeah.
Even as an outdoor,
Yes.
literally
Yes.
put it there. As long as you take care of it, you don't
It's
forget
come
to
a long
water
way,
it.
dude.
It will keep itself going. But
Yeah.
then going from that.
But there's only like 50
if you
grams
don't
on
want
the plant.
to, well, that's the thing about it as a
That's the
beginner.
whole thing.
A beginner. Remember, we talk
Just
about
checking
the
that.
dude
Just catching up
that's never bought seeds and he wants to literally
He's going
get
to
it.
put a light in his closet.
There
or
we go.
PC
First time
grow,
grower,
Yeah.
buy an auto flower,
Yeah.
learn how to grow a plant.
Yeah.
Then from there,
Good call.
take it to the next level where you're going to decide if you want to go away from auto. But you can't. I wouldn't say so much as what strain to get, because what do you choose? There's so many strains in this
Yeah,
world.
no, it's
Don't worry
not-
about the strain. What you got to look at is how long do you want to grow this plant for? How long are you willing to take care of this? Because if you're going to go with an indica, you're going to have a very short flowering time, where sativa is going to give you much longer time, and you're going to have to
And
put a
it's
lot
a
of
big
time and
plant.
effort. And it's a big effortless part, like a lot of effort.
And that's where
or
you-
you go with like a hybrid.
Yeah.
So I would play on more. A beginner should go with something that's either an auto or an indica / hybrid, but more on the indica side. Keep it low, keep it short flowering time. Don't wait. Don't prolong this.
And also find
Like a Northern Lights, you know what? I've grown Northern
There we go.
Lights before.
Northern Lights-
it fell in the ground. I
Unless
don't
it's
know
got
how.
crossed with a haze.
And
Nothing
it just happened.
haze. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
my
okay.
question is, how did they do that?
What, the
Do what?
auto flowering
Make
thing?
it an auto flower.
So can I?
Maybe
Yes, please.
maybe
Yes, bud.
somebody out there doesn't know what an auto is, because I'm not actually sure I know how they got it to be one, because every auto I saw outdoors was pretty pathetic for the amount of effort that you had to put
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
You had to have loads, and it was perpetual. You had to keep So I can only believe that they're made for indoors, not outdoors. But that's just me.
They've come a long way. So
Okay.
how it started was communist weed. Basically like Eastern and Northern Europe, because of the long days and the short nights, the cannabis that grows there doesn't operate like normal cannabis. Normal cannabis is photo period. So as long as it's getting more than 12 hours, it'll stay in veg growth. And as soon as it gets 12 hours or less, it'll go to flowering.
Yeah.
Now, because of the way it is there in commie vibes, this communist weed... Whoa!
Commie Kushies, we're talking about
this thing learned, and it's shit. You can't... It's really shit, dude. You'd rather smoke your fucking dirty socks. But how it works is then it figured out it has to flower on its own to reproduce.
Oh.
So it said, fuck light schedule. No matter what the period is, within 3 months or so, I'll go from seed to finished. That's it. And what they've done is they started at the beginning with like lowrider, bred that with some like dank, and got a decent-ish thing. But over the last 5 years, it's really accelerated.
Is that what lowrider is?
Yeah,
It's known as a very, very low, short-growing plant.
it's the original auto. And then lowrider 2 and things like that.
idea.
But they've now selectively bred it so far where they've managed to get really that auto-flowering vibe into just about any strain now. So you can buy Northern Lights, Pineapple Express and that. And where guys were only putting like 20, 30 grams, I'm seeing our guys outdoor now, 100 grams a plant. Easy. It takes care though. You do need to be attentive.
Right.
But it's
Just
getting
like
there.
anything, you can't grow, even if you get the best strain on the planet, you're not going to grow it like you see it on Instagram unless you grow it correctly. You
Yeah.
have to give it all the effort and you have to really study the plant. Farmers that we have in our country don't just grow the best meat because they bought the best seed.
And is it possible to grow really good weed, but you also have to sit in traffic all day, do a job and get back and get home?
Yes.
Is it possible?
I actually think it is. Look,
Well, it's the era of the
To a
midnight
point.
gardener. It's
To
the
a
era of the
point.
midnight gardener.
What
Yeah.
it is?
Well, that's what I would say it is.
Okay,
Midnight
cool.
gardeners. I mean, think about all the indoor growing that could be happening. That does happen.
That
Even
does
so,
happen, whether there's humans
where
awake
they've
or
got
not.
where
There
they've
we
got
go.
a tent, and I mean I've seen some really cool stuff online where it's maybe a square meter or 1.5 squares, you know, and it's nicely high, and you can put 2 plants, you know, in there and bring them up.
And you do that after work, and you do
Yes.
that before you wake up.
And I think what guys also lose touch of is you see the juicy Instagram post and you're like, ooh, lekker,
Yes,
bud porn.
yes.
But it's actually, even with the auto turn indica, you're looking at a best case 3 to 6 month situation
Still,
before you've got
yeah.
something that you can smoke. Or damn.
No, look, hold on.
Really?
No. There's like some that are now 70 days
From seed.
from seed. 70 days. Look, you're not yielding.
That's what they
Is
say.
it the size of this?
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
much
going to get
could be,
about
yeah.
here, right? Yeah.
It's probably a head
Yeah.
like that, isn't it?
Once it's dried. And
But you're probably getting
So what's 70 days? 2.5 months, dude.
50,
3 months,
60
dude.
grams.
Then you've got to dry it,
I
then you've got
agree
to
with
cure
Dan
it.
here that
I know.
it would be a good sort of a botany lesson. You know, you
Yes.
understand about the plant and light cycles.
They should
and
give
stuff,
auto cycles,
and
auto
then
seed.
nutrients. Nutrients are all part of the deal.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, we're going to get there next.
And let's give
Okay.
autos
So-
to like university students.
Yeah, so I think if we can recap, autos are great, indicas are lacquer. What I also like indicas is you'll find with different strains that they have different nutrient appetites, depending on how much they have sativa, indica, ruderalis,
Yeah.
or even just phenotype. So you can't necessarily grow 12 different strains and give them all the same dose.
Definitely
Really?
not. Definitely not.
And indicas for me are much easier because they're hungry in that sense. Sativas can ride the line. Even autos, you can ride the line. But an indica is generally a hungry, easy plant. Hard to overdo it because you can kill them with love.
Definitely. Don't overlove a plant. Don't water it every single day. Don't be overcontented.
Don't overlap anything, you know. It
Seriously,
ends up with
don't.
like stalker
Yeah.
things
They're
against
hard
your
and
name.
they can take
Yeah.
a beating, but don't obviously beat them up. That's opposite of what you want to be doing.
Imagine if you're trying to grow hectares of cheese in Milnerton under lights. There's no water. Imagine the growers.
In Cape Town.
Imagine the
Yes.
hemp will save the world. Rude. The drought's not going to help hemp saving the world. Hemp needs a lot of water.
Yeah.
Your autos need loads of water.
Oh, yeah.
Not every day, but it's pretty good. Huh?
Yeah. I think the price is going to go up. You're going to see all that hipster weed where it's artisanal bottled water being fed to the plants.
I've heard from a mate over in America. He knows of, well, I think he actually works for a company that does no watering growing. So they don't water their plants at all. And they've got massive fields outdoors
What?
where they don't water ever. But what has happened is they grow them far enough from each other that I think it basically creates a large enough root zone that allows the plant to take up enough water simply from ground precipitation and moisture. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there obviously might be a river nearby, or at least a lower water table or a high water table that at least allows it there, but that's how they do it. And they just literally clean the grounds on top, and these plants are...
It's a very good point.
Monsters,
Sure.
literally like that. So
You know, most of prohibition weeds high up in mountains on slopes.
Yes.
They don't have that taproot
System,
safeguard on the
Yeah.
side of a mountain. But if you took all of those swazis from 45 degrees and put them in the alluvial plains, they could grow as much weed as they wanted on legalization.
Yeah.
Those roots would tap.
that would deep.
Yeah,
very
they would.
And they say that generally a plant's roots mirror what's on top
Yeah,
in
yeah,
shape
there we
and,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
structure. So if that can go way down, it can only go way up.
Wow.
All needs to get
man.
to a moist area where it can draw moisture.
and it
Then
will
it's alive.
seek.
It'll
It will
be alive. It doesn't.
The guys up those mountains said, "Why do you want to legalize it?" And they said the price will drop. I said, "Well, that might be so, but then at least you can come off the mountain and go down there and grow lank, and you can put it in the sun and pack it, get it under cover properly so you can cure it and slowly." It doesn't take people long to realise that is not an objection. The price will go down. Yes, the price is going to go down, but it will still.
Your demand is going to rocket.
Yeah, no, there'll be a honeymoon
we'll
period.
see. They will. I think it'll go up and down. But also, you think about these guys. You're saying 3 days. We said 3 hours in traffic. We're pulling our hair out for they don't to walk these fucking grows 3 days or something in Swaziland. So imagine when you can do it right on his doorstep or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some of the conditions those guys live in. Well, most cannabis growers the world over, living up in the mountains under tarps and stuff, protecting what is completely a desirable, rubbable plant.
I mean, yeah, I've actually noticed that, on a couple of, there was down in the coast now, in the last week or so, there was somebody, one of the cannabis community that actually had posted, "Look what happened, I'd left the pots out at night, I shouldn't have done this." And here's like 10 that have been just chopped off. Rippers, man.
They're called rippers. They're this like bug that comes through.
I must be getting old. I've never heard it.
When there's value, because
I'm
if you
glad
think
I
about
came
it,
tonight. I've learnt lang tonight.
because if you think about it, a plant's a valuable thing nowadays. If you grow a plant that's 100 grams plus of really good bud, what's that
It's a
like?
20 grand plant.
10, 20 grand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Retail?
And people moan about it's $150 a seed brew. Yeah, but its potentiality eclipses.
Yeah.
150. This is a serious
Yeah,
investment.
you could make 20 grand off of that, my friend. So
You could if you were out there peddling your wares to end users and stuff. Yeah.
So someone
But that
comes and
20
steals
grand
6 plants.
I reckon your adrenaline levels are going to be more than double the increase. You are going to. People are growing weed, lang.
Yeah.
But now, fuck, where do I get rid of it? Because now they're going to grow it to make some money out of this, but there's loads and loads of products all over the place that people have
there's
no
that
idea
oak
what to
that
do
can
with.
sell it, eh? And then so, yeah, no.
The Dagga couple still get inboxes of what I've got its market for it. It's not that long ago. I've had 2 this year. People offered it for free because they made it, but
They don't know what to do with
They
it.
just wanted to see, I dig this plant brew, and I was looking. It's like farmers messing with it. Doesn't happen anymore because now it's getting round that this has got a monetary worth. So even
Yeah.
the ruler out there,
commodity.
everyone's going back to re-legalise it.
But let's speak a little bit about the farming, like for the home sort of guy, not everyone has access to like online shopping or Trust It or whatever. So you've got great places like GT Hydro you can go to get like grow supplies and that. But for the guy who's maybe not in such a lacquer spot and he's only got his local builder's warehouse or like nursery and stuff, are there any products that you rate for guys that you can go buy off the shelf that are worth getting, that will help them out with their grow?
Basics. I've got like bone meal.
Bone every time, dude.
Those I saw a while back at there's a nice bone meal soil that you can buy at a few of the nurseries that are selling it. It's I think they call it the indigenous mix with bone meal, and it is so nice and rich, eh?
Some vermicompost would probably be a good one.
Yeah, worm poo, worm tea.
Worm
If
tea,
you can get your hands
yourself
on that.
a worm farm. Yeah,
Also something to
350
aerate
bucks.
the soil doesn't need to be, as long as the roots can stretch out and really travel, it gives them a lot more chance to pick up nutrients. So maybe mix some cocoa or some perlite into it.
Yeah, that's usually tough for folks to get a hold of, I find.
Yeah, I guess cocoa
Yeah.
would be a bit. Maybe then you know what, cocoa basically is simply a mulch. Add a mulch into it that you could do it. So what you would start to then do is, if you don't have access to this kind of stuff, you start doing natural cover crops and using straw and using leaf cuttings and using certain things that are from your garden or from the area and start adding them back. So you're sort of bringing the whole natural approach back to your growing. Things to look at, go look at Korean natural farming. It's a very good way to look into it. It takes a lot of you say a lot of work, but it's not a lot of work when you're doing it for the better of your own garden, because you can literally make a barren piece of ground into something that's full of nutrients and full of life, and just from using cardboard and cuttings and a bit of compost and leaving it there for 3 months, and you lift that thing up and that ground is black. So it's easy. You just have to Google.
And again, it's protecting it from UV. The amount of UV on the high felt now at the moment.
Cover crops are very
just lashings of it.
Yeah, I think when you say things like
good products, that you could go get off the shelf.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I suppose it's. I'm a bit more natural in that aspect. I would hypothetically use worm juice,
worm castings.
That sort of stuff. Much better idea for
Calpac. You get that from Calteras.
Calpac
is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
But sometimes for the guys that are really just like newbie, nutrients wise, you can there's a couple of products that are off the shelf just for normal flowering plants that you could, in very small amounts, actually use with them.
You could.
Because I've seen like multi-feed and things, because that's also the thing. I find it's very easy to go get something off the shelf for that early veg stage. So Nitrosol's great. All those things to give it nitrogen are really accessible. But to find the things for giving it great flowering are tougher.
Well, also, if you're going to be putting these chemicals into the ground that you've taken all this time to grow up, and now you think you can put a little bit of bloom booster that you think into the ground and think, this is going to help it. It's going to kill the microbes if you don't do it right. So you have to think beyond that. You have to take fulvic acid, humic acid, Calpac. You have to use your naturals. So you've got to make a decision way beyond that. You've got to be really mindful as to the end product. You can't just bombard it with nutrients towards the end that, hey, nutrients are here. It's like, dude, I can't even take you in. You're not even organic. You haven't broken down. You haven't become available to me. So
good point.
It's a bit of planning you have to have. To have a successful crop, it's a lot of planning. I mean, you can have crops, wheat grows anywhere, but it won't be the best. So it comes down to it. Preparation is key. So yes, simple products, I'd say. Keep it simple. Keep it very, very simple.
You know what? I heard somebody say. I heard somebody say something a while back, and they said, the plant just wants to grow.
Yeah, it does.
And
it definitely does.
It really does. So it's sometimes just leaving it and giving it the water and a little bit of worm juice or whatever, just the simplest way of doing it is actually just the best for it, because all it wants to do is grow.
Bro, that was the 20th century. I've already had that conversation, and just shut the fuck up now.
Okay.
These guys are on it, matey. These guys can tweak shit with just what they put back into the ground. It's not about what they put as well, it's the timing of how they do it. And I watch a whole bunch of people talking at me about growing and lights and stuff and nutrients and everything, and I never did any of that in my life. It's a hell of an interesting subject, and it is the future. All of this tweaking is just like this. They're tweaking what's coming out of the plant, and they're tweaking what goes into the plant.
There we go.
It's not going to go away. These guys are on it.
What Dagga used to be, everyone was like, it's Dagga. It's become more than that. You get this terpenes, you get plant science that comes out of it, you get glass.
These are
manufacturing that comes
Imagine
out
if
of it.
this was...
This is not just a little bubble like this now. It's become this huge...
Yeah, no, it's a fractal now.
It's amazing. There's
you
more knowledge in it than you would think. Really, there is. There's a lot more to it than just this part.
Super cool.
Yeah, there we go. It's really cool.
Guys, I think that's it for today.
Cool.
Wow.
Anywhere we should check you out? Anything we should... Instagram?
Check out Cannahealth.
Yeah,
check out
definitely.
The African Smoke Hate Shop.
And remember, on the 7th of November, outside the Constitutional Court, from 9 o'clock onwards, an update on that. We, don't get us wrong, we have put in all the applications to join as amicus, but it's not our decision, it's the court's decision, and we may well not know that until the morning of the 7th. There's no time for it to be heard. The states are opposing it viciously, and we are writing more replies, so the game's not over yet. It's a very tense time, so I'm glad I had a good laugh at the podcast, the HotBox, and Thank you for sharing all this information. And these guys with the little bottles of Muti. Whoa, rock on. Very good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.